Hello friends, welcome to Educational Stuff. I am Prashant. Today we will be focusing on one of the article which was published in the editorial page. This is regarding the India and Nepal conflict, that is borderline conflict between two nations, India and Nepal. Lower the temperature, diffuse the issue. Diffuse means solve. Defuse the issue means solve the issue. The border trouble between India and Nepal is matter best handled bilaterally through quiet diplomacy. The inauguration of road from Dachula to Lipu Lake, Venice border by India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, an event over video conferencing on May 8, has now been followed by Nepal's charge claiming that the stretch passes through Nepalese territory. Here you can see from the figure, Dachula is here in the Nepal's territory, and Lipu Lake, a road was built by the government of India and it was inaugurated on May 8 by the Defence Minister. And now Nepal claims that this is in their territory. This road follows the traditional pilgrim route from Kailash Mansarovar Yatra. This is an arduous walk. Arduous means a difficult, which needs more physical strain to walk on this road. Difficult to accomplish, which I did in 1981, the year the Yatra restarted after about 25 years. When India and China agreed to reopen the pilgrim route via Lipu Lake, the conversion of trekking route to metalled road is a boon to both pilgrims and traders. Boon means an advantage. Explaining Nepal's stand, the controversy has given Nepal's Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli an opportunity to hide his government's incompetence and failure to meet the basic needs of the people and to divert attention away from the rising tide of opposition from within his own party. His temperate remarks in the new Nepalese parliament are best ignored in the interest of preserving India-Nepal ties. Nepal deployed its armed police at Charung, close to Kalapani, in its Sudur Paschim. While there is nothing untoward in deploying the armed police whose mandate is to man the borders of Nepal, it is the manner and timing of the deployment that raised eyebrows in New Delhi. The Nepalese contingent was dropped to location by the helicopters very visibly. Raised eyebrows means to cause the people to react with surprise or mild disapproval. The Indo-Tibetan Border Police is also located in Kalapani since it is close to India-China border. India forces are not there because of police. The Nepalese government has raised the stakes further and has made a negotiated settlement more complex by authorizing a new map extending its territory across an area sensitive for India's defense. Negotiated means to reach an agreement or compromise by discussion. The Sugali treatment. The boundary delineation has a long history. Delineation means to indicate the exact position or the border of boundary. Before, in the 1868 Treaty of Sugali, the Nepalese kingdom stretched from the Sutlej River in the west of Teesta River in the east. Nepal lost the Anglo-Nepalese War and resulting territory limited Nepal to its present territories. The Sugali Treaty stated that the Raj of Nepal hereby cedes to Honorable East India Company in perpetuity all the undermentioned territories, including the whole of the lowlands between the river Kali and Rapti. It elaborated further that the Raja of Nepal renounces for himself, his heirs and successors all claim to our connection with the countries lying to the west of river Kali, and engages never to have any concern with those countries or inhabitants thereof. The present controversy has arisen since the Nepalese contest that the tributary that joins the Mahakali river at Kalapani is not the Kali river. Nepal now contends that the Kali river lies further west to Lipulek Pass. This is Lipulek Pass. This is Kailash Mansarovar. This is Darchula. This is Kalapani. In between these lies the river. The British used Lipulek Pass for a trade with Tibet and China. The Survey of India maps since the 1870s showed the area of Lipulek down to Kalapani as a part of British India. The Survey of India maps since the 1870s showed the area of Lipulek down the Kalapani as a part of British India. Both the Rana rulers of Nepal and Nepalese kings accepted the boundary and did not raise any objections with the government of India after independence. As a reward for the military help rendered by Jung Bahadur Rana in quelling the 1857 uprising, the areas of Nepalganj and Kapilvastu were restituted to Nepal soon thereafter. The British did not return any part of Kharwal or Aquamon, including the Kalapani area, to Nepal. India did not exist in 1816 when the Treaty of Sugali was concluded. After India's present borders, not just with Nepal but with many of its other neighbours, were drawn by erstwhile British regime, India inherited the boundaries of British India. It cannot now unravel the historic past. On the way to resolution, the Nepal-India Technical Level Joint Boundary Working Group was set up in 1981 to resolve boundary issues, to demarcate the international border and manage boundary pillars. Demarcate means geographical location, mark it. By 2007, the group completed the preparation of 182 strip maps signed by the surveyors of two sites, covering almost 98% of the boundary, all except the two disputed areas of Kalapani and Susta. It also ascertained the position of 8,532 boundary pillars. The remaining issues concerning the boundary are not difficult to resolve unless they are caught up in a domestic or international concerns. The next steps are the approval of strip maps by the respective governments. That of the Nepalese government is still awaited the resolution of the differences by opinion over Kalapani and Susta, and speeding up the erection of damaged or missing border pillars. India has successfully resolved far more intractable borders issue with Bangladesh not so long, covering both the land and maritime boundaries. The land boundary settlement required an exchange of territories in adverse possession of two countries. Possession means the state of having its own, controlling by something, including the transfer of population and constitutional amendment number 100 of May 15, 2015 to give effect to 1947 India-Bangladesh land boundary agreement. The maritime boundary issue was even more difficult. India agreed to go to the Hague-based Permanent Court of arbitration. It is an independent person or a body officially appointed to settle a dispute. Knowing well that if the court applied the principle of equity, India would lose up to 4/5 of the disputed area. As India had established its claim on baseline that took into account the curved nature of India-Bangladesh shoreline, thus boxing Bangladesh maritime claims to within India and Myanmar's water. The court accepted much Bangladesh claim despite the Indian member of tribunal giving an adverse entry. The government of India accepted the ruling. Compared to what was accomplished between India and Bangladesh, the India-Nepal border issues appear more easily solvable, so long as there is a political goodwill and statecraft exercised on both sides. The way to move forward is formally approve the strip maps, resolve the two remaining disputes, demarcate the entire India-Nepal boundary. Demarcate means setting the boundary, and speedily execute the work of the boundary maintenance. Ties are unique. India's leadership and the Indian people have been conscious of self-respect and pride of Nepalese people. Jawaharlal Nehru wrote in the Discovery of India and also the Glimpses of World History. Glimpses means having the outward view. That Nepal has been the only truly independent country of South Asia. Nepal, in turn, has in the past responded to India's needs as a friendly neighbor. Its political leader contributed to India's struggle for freedom. The only time since the independence the foreign troops were deployed on Indian soil was when, in 1948 to 49, Nepalese soldier under the command of General Sharda Tamshed Jahang Bahadur Rana came to India's northern cantonments, depleted by deployments in Jammu Kashmir and Hyderabad. The people-to-people relationship between India and Nepal is unmatched. In the far corners of India, sometimes local turn against those from other Indian states, but seldom against the Nepalese. Seldom means very rarely. It is the government-to-government relationship that generally lacks. There is nobody in India that wishes ill for Nepal. For India's Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Mukund Narwane, to charge at the interaction at the Institute of Defence Studies and Analysis New Delhi, that Nepal at someone else's behest has objected to India laying a road connecting the Lipu Lake Pass was ill-advised. For India's Chief of Army Staff, General Mukund Narwane, to charge an interaction at the Institute of Defence Studies and Analysis in New Delhi, that Nepal at someone else's behest has objected the India laying a road connecting the Lipu Lake Pass was ill-advised. It widens the door for someone else to foment more trouble. The matter best handled bilaterally to quiet diplomacy. The official spokesperson of India's Ministry of External Affairs, Anurag Srivastava, has said recently that the India and Nepal have an established mechanism to deal with all boundary matters. He has affirmed that India is committed to resolving outstanding boundary issues through diplomatic dialogue, in spirit of India's close and friendly bilateral relations with Nepal. The best is to activate the existing mechanisms as soon as possible before any further damage is done. The more the trouble festers, those who stand to gain by deteriorating India-Nepal relations will benefit. Deteriorating means causing damage or decreasing the relationship. There is need for two countries to lower the temperature and defuse the issue. They must invest time and effort to find a solution. Breaking up public controversy can only be counterproductive to the relationship. Breaking up means to discover or bringing back the light of an old quarrel. And this is regarding the India and Nepal matter, which should be settled bilaterally through a quiet diplomacy, as said by the author, who is an ambassador, former ambassador. And that's it. Thanks for joining me. Please do subscribe, like if you felt like sharing, please do share. Thanks for joining me. Goodbye.